Suya can give you cancer.
Why? So what if I told you that this can give you cancer? Not only this, but this also, and this, and this, and this, and this, and also this. Oh, you are surprised? Let me now spoil your day finally. Coffee. This, yes, can give you cancer. There are two common things about this food that I mentioned. Number one, they are high temperature processed foods. The second thing about it is that most of the food that I mentioned are processed on charcoal. There is a very fancy chemical that is called polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons. I know it's a big name, so for some of us that find it difficult to pronounce such a big grammar, then we can just abbreviate it as PAH. So throughout the course of the video, I will be referring to this chemical as PAH. These PAH are the major carcinogenic substances that are associated with these foods, and they have been classified as group 1 carcinogen, meaning that there is a clear link between exposure to these substances and the cancer development in humans. They can be formed when there is incomplete combustion of charcoal. So the hot coal you use during your barbecue, or when you are smoking your fish, or when you are grilling your corn, when there is incomplete combustion of this organic material, this charcoal, then there may be formation of any type of PAH. And secondly, let's say you are grilling or you are barbecuing your fish or your meat, or especially pork. Pork especially contain fat. Every food, especially meat and even fish, they all contain oil. The juice of the oil, when it drips on the hot coal, pyrolysis occurs and formation of PAH is induced. The PAH stick to your meat or your food, and that is where you consume PAH. You may be thinking in your mind that I hardly barbecue. I can avoid charcoal and then just use oven to dry my fish. Well, let me just break this news to you now. These sneaky chemicals called PAH, they can still crash your party because they can still sneakily be found in any high temperature processed food. And fun fact, there are detectable levels of PAH in even coffee and milk. Roasting is an important process in coffee making. So the coffee beans is also roasted. There is organic material involved in this, and there is incomplete combustion. Also pyrolysis occurs. So there are sizable detectable levels of PAH, not only in this, but also in vegetables. I can't even lie to you. See, there are over 20 PAH that have been identified. They have been found in nearly all temperature processed food. Is there any food that is even safe? Now that's a good question, but you asked it in the wrong way. The right question you should ask is that how much exposure to PAH is too much for you? Don't worry, I will break it down in relatable terms as your food chemist researcher. Although most food agencies have not publicly published dosage levels for PAH, however, we can draw conclusions from risk assessment using incremental lifetime cancer risk, the ILCR, to understand how much exposure we can get. ILCR estimates the additional risks of developing cancer over lifetime due to exposure to any carcinogenic substance. The closer it gets to 1 in 10,000, the more you should probably stop taking that kind of food. So how do all these big grammar, how do they concern you? Foods like suya, smoked fish, BBQ meat, smoked bush meat, and any other charcoal grill food, including your roasted corn, have their ILCR often range between 10 to the power of -5 to 10 to the power of -4, meaning that they show ILCR values that may approach or exceed concerning levels. Particularly in high consumption scenarios, they may pose potential risks for you. Therefore, you should be mindful of this kind of food when you consume them. To minimize PAH formation, here are some tips for you. You have to cook at low temperature. Keep your meat away from direct flames. Clean your grill. You know, all those grills, leftover grills from your last, you can grill inside the aluminum foil, and then you can now place it on the coal. So there you have it. You can still enjoy your suya, but you just have to be smart about it. So if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe.